a nuestro invitado, el señor Alain Lawrence, con el que vamos a estar conversando efectivamente acerca de los mercados y donde queremos una visión realmente de lo que puede estar pasando, que no solamente está, como les digo yo, en materia geopolítica, sino efectivamente en lo que sucede. Steve, how are you? How you doing? I'm glad to have you here. Obviously, we want to start talking about your perception of the market that is basically on a flat line. And obviously, I'm going to start talking about the oil, about Iran, Russia, China, Taiwan, and Venezuela, because at the end of the day, I think you're an expert on the oil prices, and we're seeing a lot of, let's say, steps for this administration, the Donald Trump administration, to try to lower the price against other forces. How are you? How are you doing? Glad to have you here, Steve.
Well, like always, thank you for being here, and I'm really excited to talk to you about the markets and obviously the global viewership that you have.
So what do you think about the state of the market right now? What is keeping you up at night, if you have to say something, where we are close to the highest level potentially, with a lot of situation happening on the geopolitical aspects of the world?
Well, let's start with the first thing. The first thing, the big news is obviously Intel. Okay. Now, Intel, that, you know, and I've said this before on your show, Intel will never fail. And you just saw the United States government, okay, just invest a tremendous amount of money into Intel. And that's telling the street something. What is it saying? That they want to build chips here. Now, as far as the energy markets, and we're seeing the geopolitical events really come into place. I believe oil is very cheap here at these levels. There just aren't enough refineries. And we're seeing that. We're also seeing the biggest players in the world knowing that the market will go a little higher here, but we're going to come off around 3 to 5%. But every time it comes off, it's a buying opportunity, without question.
Steve, based on your opinion with the oil, we got information, credible information this morning that it's something called in Español el Comando Sur, which is what it controls the south area of the Americas, is putting together around 4,000 Marines in the Caribbean Sea, which is close to Venezuela. As you know, I'm Venezuelan. There is rumors that they want to control, because of drugs, all the traffic that is going towards the U.S., but obviously there is information in Reuters and that in the Financial Times that there is some discussion that happened probably in Alaska, where they want, on a geopolitical basis, control the region. And that have an important impact on the oil, because obviously Venezuela have the biggest proved reserve of oil in the world. If that's the case, do you think that we can be seeing the oil going first to 50 something before coming back? Is that on your radar screen as of now?
I mean, right. Okay. It's the reality of the situation that fossil fuel is still there and they need it. Okay. You're seeing with declining sales in EV, period. Okay. And you're also seeing long-term growth. And fossil is going to be around for quite a while, especially with long-term growth. My prediction today is you'll see 70 before you see 57. Okay, so I'm bullish, and I'm accumulating the largest energy companies in the world. Okay, and that's what I'm doing right now, because they have value.
Well, that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting, because obviously a lot of research saying that the oil might go lower, but you're right. Maybe at these prices, people will start accumulating. I think the continuous contract is right now at around 62. We are basically seeing the oil on the spot market. The West Texas Intermediate is basically 62, 65. The Brent is a little bit higher at 65, almost $66 per barrel. Obviously, everything has to do with the peace talks about Ukraine, Russia, with the help of European nations and the U.S. Changing the topics, with regards of the market, we are close to this level, or a psychological level of 6,500. And I have some people telling me that probably we're going to break that and go to the 67, 66.50. So what is your opinion on the market for the rest of this quarter? Let's say the third quarter of 2025, because obviously on the fall, there is other dynamic coming from the earnings season of the third quarter. What is your opinion? Because you mentioned that we're going to see inflation. I think it's possible. We have Jeremy Powell on Friday. So I want your opinion about the market in these next, let's say, 7 weeks.
Within the next 7 weeks, we're gonna test the highs, okay, but it will come off. All right, it will come off, and it's going to come off in a healthy fashion between 2 to 4%. It's just healthy, and it'll be an opportunity to get involved in some great technology companies, some fabulous pharma companies that are very mispriced right now, and the cyclicals. When things are out of vogue, that's when you get involved in the market. The market's not always a sexy story. It's the reality of the numbers and what the trajectory of a potential investment will be. So the viewer needs to understand you need to be diversified. You have to be. You have to own multiple asset classes, all right, to weather these long-term storms.
Steve, with regards of the international situation with the markets, we've been seeing Euro outperforming, Asia, some countries in Latin America, including Mexico. I know you know a lot about Asia. Can you tell us a little bit about what's going on there and what do you think will happen basically on the stock markets in the Hang Seng and some other areas where we have to start seeing some sort of opportunities, because obviously we're close to the end of the, let's say, third quarter down the road, and then the fourth quarter, which might be extremely bullish for the region. What do you think about Asia in general, please?
In general, China is a buy. And it's a buy for the simple reason that there's true value there in the size of the economy. Now, the juxtapose is as follows. What's it going to take the public to start buying more? And they're starting to buy more. We understand that geopolitical events are the geopolitical events. Put those aside. The reality is that they're still growing. The reality is that they have a huge economy. So I don't really opine on geopolitical events and their outcome, okay? That's not what I do, or it shouldn't be anybody's intent to do that when you're in the market. What you're looking at in the market, like a day like today, Home Depot, up substantially, and they missed all their targets. They missed every one of them, and it's up substantially. So that is telling you something, that there will be future growth. And China, the Hang Seng should go to about 27,000, but it has had a big move. So you could see China will go higher, and it depends what your time horizon is. And it can't be 3 to 5 weeks.
Perfect, Steve. And then to finalize here, any opinion on the interest rates? You know, we're going to have the speech of Jeremy Powell on Friday at the Jackson Hole conference. And now the question is if they're going to cut 25 basis point, quarter of a point, or 50, and that depends on employment. And obviously we have a strong number from San Francisco, obviously with on parallel numbers happening there, but we have other people saying that we might face a cascade of layoff. What is your opinion on that? Because that's the important point before the meeting that they're going to have in September, please.
Powell's going to make a stance here, and I truly believe that he's not going to cut, even with pressure. All right. And there's still an element globally of inflation. There just is. You could just go to any store and you see it. Okay. So Mr. Jones, Main Street sees that. And when Main Street disconnects from Wall Street, that's the issue. So that being said, rates are already priced in. I believe that he will not cut. And if he does, it's because he's under a tremendous amount of pressure, which he's under. And that's the reality of it.
Well, Steve, thank you very much. Obviously, give me 1 second, I'm going to recap en español. Las dos cosas que nos dice Steve, para que estemos de acuerdo, es que él sigue observando que a estos niveles podrían seguir comprando en petróleo, que inclusive lo ve cercano a los niveles de 70 antes de verlo a los niveles de los high 50, es decir, 57, 58. Esperemos, porque todo pasa por el juego geopolítico, e indudablemente quizás que a raíz de lo que está pasando a nivel de los aranceles y de la inflación, nosotros veamos a un Jeremy Powell que no esté dispuesto, escúchenlo bien, lo está diciendo Steve, Alain Lawrence, que no esté dispuesto a recortar tasas este próximo septiembre venidero, donde indiscutiblemente todos los ojos están puestos en la Reserva Federal. Muchísimas gracias, Steve. Thank you very much for being with us. We'll get back to you soon to follow up on your predictions. Thank you. Have a great day. Hey,
you too, my good man. Have a wonderful one, and thank you. Bye-bye.